Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Doctor Who Reviews. This week, we have my choice of the Series 1 episode from 2005, Dalek. And to discuss it with me, I have my two usual co-hosts. Firstly, to my virtual left, he fought off the Daleks and all he got was this lousy mirror. It's Freezing Inferno.
Hey, this is a fancy mirror. Thank you very much.
Sure, let's go with that. And to my virtual right, she is guaranteed to blow your mind. It's Concave Usurper, but we know her best as Cat.
You did it again, Rainiac. You picked yet another racist episode.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did, because everybody knows the Daleks are super racist against everything.
Oh,
It's not a Dalek. And against some Daleks. And against each other. Damn the Daleks. They ruined the Daleks.
The Daleks have cancelled the Daleks. Is that what you're telling me?
Pretty much.
Oh my god. Isn't that just the plot of Revolution of the Daleks?
That's the next Christmas special, cancellation of the Daleks.
I mean, it is, isn't it? The other Daleks come up and they're like, we peeked in the dead planet!
Pretty much, yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Joe Vevers.
I can say that every time and make you laugh.
It is good, though.
It's good, but that is the plot of Revolution, isn't it? Part of it. They
And also
cancel the other Daleks for not being
in that parody, vaccination rate's pretty good, but also when Robertson shows up and they just immediately shoot him down.
What did he expect?
I mean, why didn't he think we were going to kill him?
Speaking of contentious political figures and Daleks.
Yeah, this is quite something. So, as I say, 2005 episode, Christopher Eccleston was the Doctor.
First
Yes.
season.
And I begin to realise just how much of a bad rap he got for his time as the Doctor, because this is really good.
He had a bad. I mean, look, I was. This is when I got into the show, right here at the beginning. So for me, it's just, oh, he's the Doctor. He's my first Doctor. I love him. He's great. So I don't know any bad rap stuff. I mean, sure, you can point to some episodes that you could say and go, oh, that's kind of silly, but all in all, it's a pretty solid series.
Well, what
for
I mean
him.
is that he's not held in as high regard, or wasn't held as high regard as, say, David Tennant or Matt Smith, but I think that's changing now.
I mean, David Tennant was popular. But I think now, yeah, I think you're right. There is this sort of reappraisal. People going, oh, wow, Eccleston really was, he was really killing it, wasn't he?
And he kills it in this.
As he does in this story that we're about to discuss.
As we will discuss,
So Dalek,
it really is Eccleston's tour de force here.
am I right in thinking this is the only televised story by Robert Shearman?
I think you're correct, yes.
But now the story does have its roots in Big Finish because he's done some stuff for Big Finish in the past. There are two very notable ones. You mentioned one on the show a while ago. I think you even dropped the Spotify to it. The Chimes of Midnight,
Yeah,
which is just a solid Eighth Doctor adventure.
that's fantastic, yeah.
That is worth your time. But for our purposes, the sort of genesis, the seed of the idea of this story comes from a Big Finish story he did for 2003, part of the 40th anniversary, I believe. A Sixth Doctor audio called Jubilee.
Yeah, this is basically adapted from Jubilee.
Well,
Oh, good. So we're going to have that really lame X-Man who just pretty much went around shooting fireworks out of her hands. Great.
Yeah.
So lame, she hasn't appeared in any of the major films apart from a cameo.
Oh.
Wasn't she also only in the cartoon series? I don't remember if she was actually in the comics or
I
not.
can't remember if she was in the comics or not. Her first major appearance was the cartoon, yes.
Goes to show how much of a good character she was.
I go
Thanks,
back to
Jubilee.
that new Grounds animation nails it, where it's talking about how Wolverine will be on all three teams, but it's like Jubilee will be on the team and actually do or say anything useful.
God. Yeah, Jubilee is an interesting Sixth Doctor story about, British nationalism and totalitarianism. The fun stuff.
Yeah, it also has the
Oh, so
last.
England now.
But the main thing that watch it, the main the main thing it has is that it has the concept of the last Dalek in captivity.
Mhm.
Now we know now, of course, through watching the show, that that's nonsense. This is not the last Dalek in existence.
Yeah.
And I say off the top, this is kind of funny, but if you are extremely bad faith in your media criticism, you can argue that this episode is completely non-canon in at least 5 different ways. Last of the Daleks? Nope. Last of the Time Lords? Nope. The Time Lords and the Daleks burned up in the Time War? Nope. Nobody knows what the Daleks are? No. But then also, yes, if you think about the cracks in time, so
Maybe.
if you're extreme,
Let's put it this way: continuity is the Doctor's greatest enemy.
Exactly. Like, if you want to be extremely bad, I saw this one take somewhere. I don't even know how to describe the take anymore, but it was something along the lines of Christopher Eccleston didn't appear in Day of the Doctor because Moffat made all his episodes non-canon.
No, that's not
And
true.
He didn't appear in Day of the Doctor because he didn't want to.
Yeah,
exactly. But
he had a bad experience on the filming series 1. So
yeah, he had a real rough time. But I mean, as of now, he's sort of come to terms with it and put it out there, and he's gone back to Big Finish. So there's a real sort of arc of healing there for the actor. But I mean, just that quote pissed me off because you know how much I and Krista McTeer, author of Back to the 11th Hour, available now on Amazon.com,
Fantastic book.
Liked Day of the Doctor because of that. All this stuff. But Day of the Doctor doesn't diminish any of Eccleston's fine acting and grief because the character really believes he burned up the time. He burned the Time Lords and the Daleks alike. And
it's a weird take to me because the whole point of Day of the Doctor is that they're not supposed to remember. And it's only the 11th Doctor that finds out the actual truth. That's like
I said,
a very important part of the whole thing.
It's a bad faith criticism of Day of the Doctor to go, Moffat made Eccleston's arc non-canon.
Here's a hot take: every subsequent Doctor makes the previous Doctor's screenwriters non-canon. There you go.
Oh, goddamn. So we should talk about this story itself.
We should, yeah. So let's do that then.
Can I go ahead and I just want to say something really fast. So obviously a whole bunch of people, if they're listening to this, more than likely they've seen this episode. So spoilers don't really matter for this. But when I first started watching Doctor Who, I first saw some Eccleston episodes, and I wasn't really all that interested in the show at the time. I don't know what it was, but it just seemed like a run-of-the-mill sci-fi show. I've never heard of it before. And then when I got into Tenet, I started to really watch it. But of course, I did make sure to watch some Eccleston episodes as well, because often they would pop up on BBC America and so forth. This episode was my first introduction to the Daleks.
Ooh.
Same.
Well, yeah.
And let me tell you, it's a real trip thinking back to the first time I saw it and being like, oh no, the poor alien is getting tortured by the humans.
Yeah.
Oh no, the alien's actually a massive monster. Oh.
It's literally, and you can cut this out or put in a timestamp or whatever. It's literally the QB effect of like, oh no, the poor alien, and then at the end you're like, no, kill
God,
it.
no. Time out. We are not anointing that rat bastard on this program. And Jerry's laughing so hard.
Who killed more people, the incubators or the Daleks?
And Jerry's laughing so hard he's broken his Pete's microphone.
Oh god! Oh fuck! That's a difficult question, Kat.
Yes.
I don't fucking know. Holy shit! Maybe the Daleks, just because the incubators only really seem to fuck around with Earth, whereas the Daleks are universal.
As far as we know. Well, actually, no, that's not true, because there was a game where there was an alien magical girl.
Oh no! Christ.
Anyways, that's not the important part. The
Okay.
important part is this was my first introduction to Daleks. So I had no idea what was going on. I kind of knew who the Doctor was in general. Like the idea of regeneration was still mind-boggling to me. So I didn't. I barely even knew what regeneration was at that point. So all I see is this man with like a shaved head yelling at a tin robot. And I remember feeling so sorry for the Dalek because, I mean, I didn't really believe what the Doctor was saying about it being an extermination machine or whatever, just because he had said he would have been in a war with them. Maybe it was the Time Lords that was the bad people. And then later on, I got an actual Dalek episode where it was the Daleks being the Daleks, and it's like, oh no, they're just assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They do manage to make you feel some sympathy for the Dalek,
Yeah.
which is a very clever perk of writing because
And
it's a-
for some reason, I don't know if like I just completely missed it or if it was like during a commercial break and I came back and missed it or something. But for some reason, the idea that they were racially driven never came to me for some reason in that episode. I gotta stop saying for some reason, but the whole time I was just like, oh, that poor creature is being tortured by these people. No wonder it wants to kill them all.
they do mention that the Prime Dalek directive is to destroy humanity. And if it
there's some
isn't
great
Dalek,
dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I don't remember everything about when I first saw this episode. I just remember feeling really sorry for the Dalek.
Which Rose does too, so
yeah.
there's your
Yeah.
Ties in.
identification.
Can
But
we talk a bit about the opening scene because I love this?
oh yeah,
Yes.
let's do it.
So the Doctor has been summoned by a distress call to Utah in the year 2012.
The space year of 2012.
The far future. Why, Rose Tyler will be 26 then. Wow, it's not like she's how old is she now?
No idea.
Now I have no idea, but in the actual episode she was 19.
45 years old.
Yeah. And living her best life.
Holy shit.
Well, Billy
She's
Piper
almost twice. She's almost twice the age she was as in the show.
Yeah, that time will do that to you.
And yet her
Oh my
eyebrows
God.
are still messed up.
Oh
No,
my-
I'm not going to let it go.
Cat.
And well, they're half a mile underground, and they find
What, her
a
eyebrows?
great big egg. What?
Rose is above ground. Her eyebrows are half a mile underground.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
Rainiac. That's exactly what
I
it
couldn't
is.
resist. I couldn't resist. But
Doctor and Rose and her eyebrows are half a mile underground.
well, I'm sorry, Jerry. You got to remember one thing: we're all goofs here.
Anyways, they find themselves in a hallway that has a whole bunch of, stuff in it. They turn on the lights and they find it's a whole bunch of museum display cases,
Yeah.
Alien bullshit.
including a Slovene arm.
Yeah, it's been stuffed and put in a cabinet.
And
That's not
also,
creepy.
and this is wild, a Cyberman's head.
Yeah, classic Cyberman head from Attack of the Cybermen, I think.
I don't. It's like the design they used. No, it wouldn't be from Attack of the Cyberman. That's like the late 60s, 70s Cyberman
It's
design.
a classic Cyberman head anyway, because the Cybermen would come
Which-
back a year later.
Which is funny because the last story we did, Darkwater Death in Heaven, had Kate Stewart toss a Cyberman head down on the ground, and it was the same type.
That's where she got it from.
She nicked it
Oh
from
no, the
this
one that she
place.
had was a lot more damaged.
Yeah.
Was
Well,
like fully intact.
Have you tried to get
Probably
luggage?
means there's a severed head in there.
Have you tried to get luggage on a flight in one piece
God.
across the Atlantic? It's harder than you think.
It's Eccleston's got some nice moments here. He's just like the stuff of nightmares reduced to a museum exhibit.
Well,
And then
to
we
be
got-
fair, they do fill it up with concrete at the end of the episode, so maybe they had to dig it out or something.
Who knows? Either way, alarm set off. There's some guards with guns. We get our credits, and then a helicopter. Oh, hey, what's that helicopter called?
Bad Wolf 1.
Wolf 1. And that won't come up anymore. Gives a shit.
Nah, it's nothing.
I mean, it's funny now knowing what that series art is about, going back and trying to find the various instances of Bad Wolf.
Well, I will say one good thing is that at least they were able to afford a helicopter. They're not just playing a sound effect on a boombox.
True. They would pull this trick again with Bad Wolf in Series 2 with Torchwood.
Frez got that.
Shoot
Frez got
reference,
that.
Ken.
I didn't get the reference.
You weren't supposed to.
Oh, what the hell?
Oh my god. So this is where we meet an antagonist of the episode, Henry Van Staten.
He's a piece of work.
A piece of work. He's like the... I don't even know the analogy we give for this guy. He's rich, obviously. He's also like pulling the strings of America.
Is he a Howard Hughes type?
Howard Hughes, yeah, but Howard Hughes wasn't also like the Illuminati or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
we're going for
true.
here.
I mean, Howard Hughes had idiosyncrasies, but I don't think he's ever seemed to be like Van Staten.
Bill
Yeah.
Gates if he was evil. So
Oh,
Steve
well,
Jobs.
they did, in one early draft, they did, as a joke, call his character Will Fences, so it could be that. And RTD
So-
said no to that immediately.
So we basically see that, this guy is very rich. He's very used to getting his own way. And, he can do, like, whatever the fuck he wants. He's basically like, we should replace the president. It's not an election year. Good suggestion. You're fired. Wipe his memory.
Yeah, what is it? Dumping by the roadside in Minneapolis, Minnesota, somewhere beginning with M.
So he's just
Yeah,
literally
it's
just
played for comedy, but good grief, is this a dark scene?
It is.
Yeah, it's fucked up. And so
It's almost exactly like the dude in Day of the Doctor whose mind keeps getting wiped before people enter the black before he goes home after the Black Archives thing.
Yeah, Blackout.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, it's pretty dark, and, it's just all just because, you slightly disagree with me. I used to get my own way. Get him out of my sight.
There is a funny comedy bit after that, though, where the next person, who's Diana Goddard, steps up. It's like, so the next president, Democrat or Republican? Definitely Democrat, sir. Why? They're just so funny, sir, and everyone just stops dead.
Oh, my God.
But she gets away with it, because he says, I like you.
And they mention, we've got intruders, but how did they get in? In through the window. In through the window. That was a joke, everybody.
Which the 10th Doctor would repeat in the Sontaran stratagem.
Oh, dear God.
Also, I'm away from home and I don't have my soundboard, so I can't play the laugh track, so insert it yourself.
The evil is defeated!
Sad now.
Evil is defeated.
I'm going back home tomorrow, motherfuckers.
The evil's
Well,
defeated for 1 week.
You're free for 1 week.
I'll take it.
And so while Van Statten's here, he has them call down to the cage to talk to one of his employees, Simmons, about his one living specimen. And he's like, is it talking? And we see a POV of something. It's the Dalek, obviously, but you don't know that yet. If it's 2005 and you don't know what a Dalek is.
Well, they also call
And
the episode
Simmons-
Dalek, so it kind of gives it away.
Well, hi,
Yeah.
younger me.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know what the fuck a Dalek was.
Invest in
2005
Bitcoin,
either.
younger me. Invest in Bitcoin.
I literally got a YouTube ad today that was invest in Bitcoin. And I was like, what the fuck?
It could have been worse.
Don't invest in it now. You have to invest in it like 10 years ago.
It could have been worse. It
Yeah.
could have been purchase NFTs. Don't do that, kids. It's bad for the environment.
Fuck NFTs. Fuck NFTs. Anyway. So
The only NFT I will accept is the one from Devolver, because it's making fun of it, and also it doesn't damage the environment.
Good.
The
So-
only one I will accept is the eventual one from Banksy, where it immediately deletes itself.
I mean, we've had NFTs that have already been deleted, and people are like, it's gone. I had $10,000 bet on that.
Good.
Sucks.
So, good. So Van Staten asks if his pet is talking, and Simmons just like, Well, it depends on what you mean by talking. It's more like screaming, really.
Yeah.
Because this motherfucker has a power drill. He's drilling into it and he's going.
Yeah. Simmons is sadistic.
He is.
Yeah.
He's a very minor
He'll get
character.
his.
He's barely in this, but he really makes an impression on you. Like, God,
And
this asshole is sadistic.
And he gets his
Bloodthirsty.
comeuppance later,
Oh,
but
he does.
Yeah.
and Stanton goes to meet the doctor, Rose, and he also has a friend with him. One of the guys following him in the earlier scene is his British employee. Where's the English kid? You got anything new for me?
Yeah, we'll talk about him a little bit later on because
Yeah.
there are problems with
Oh.
him, but
Well,
Yeah.
he's in this scene.
Well, let's just from now on, he doesn't deserve to have his character named or even himself named. Well, we'll name him later because obviously his crimes need to be put up front. But we'll just call him the English guy.
Right. So the English guy hands Van Staten a piece of alien tech that he bought at auction, and he's like, oh well, it could be a fuel cell for an alien spaceship. Van Staten's holding it. The doctor's just like, don't hold it like that. Why? Because it's dangerous? No, because you just look silly.
yeah, it's a musical instrument.
And so he hands it to the doctor. The doctor just holds it flat, and he just gently runs his fingers over it and it plays like musical tones. Do do do. Oh, that's nice. This is just like editing hell. Rainiac, put up Wolf Job.
Don't you start.
Can you put up Wolf Job wearing a smaller Wolf Job as a hat?
I will not even put up a picture of Donald Duck in a bathtub to celebrate.
Rainiac, put up a mare.
Rainiac, can you have a tiny floating taco from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen and make it smiling? We can't use a burger because that's copyright.
Wait, what?
The burger's copyright. Run, goddamn Donald will
A
sue.
smiling burger is copyright written.
You don't remember Bergie?
No,
Anyways, Daleks.
we didn't get Bergie. We got Grimace and the Hamburglar.
It's a Game Grumps thing. He's been making Game Grumps references. Bergie is a Game Grumps thing.
Right.
Philistine.
Can you put up Bergie wearing a tiny wolf job?
For
Wearing
God's
a tiny
sake.
Bergie. Okay. Back on topic.
He's gonna put up a blank screen that says, "I'm not doing any of this. Fuck all of you."
You know
That
me
makes
so
the
well.
joke. That makes the joke even funnier.
You know me so well. Rainiac, remember to do that. Got it, boss. Right.
Yeah.
Van Staten takes it off of him, and you think, oh, he's going to like play it really badly. No, he plays it delicately, and they actually bond for a little bit over this instrument.
There's a fun line where it's just like, "I'm Henry Van Staten. Who's that supposed to be? You really don't know? He owns the internet." What? Nobody owns the internet. Yeah, that's what I want everybody
And
to
let's
think.
just keep everyone thinking that way, sweetheart.
God.
Rose also gets a good line here where Van Staten's saying, "Cat burger competition. She's pretty. So she's going to smack you if you keep calling her she."
God damn. Go off, Rose.
And then
So-
he's all like, "Oh, look, she's English. Look, English. I've got you a girlfriend."
Oh no.
For Christ's sakes.
Yes, because two English people must be attracted to one another.
But it really helps. You get the sense that this guy is so entitled he thinks that he can even direct people's private lives.
Yeah.
In a
Probably.
sense.
He's just a weird billionaire who poisoned his brain. He's got brain rot for being so fucking rich.
Anyway, thankfully that bit's over now because we get to a really fun.
Jeff Bezos?
Yes, but also Van Staten.
All roads lead back to Jeff Bezos.
Right. So, unfortunately, the English kids are left to quote canoodle or whatever
Spoon.
it is you British people do. While Van Staten offers to show the Doctor, who seems to know his shit about alien tech, his one living specimen.
Yeah.
So, which Van Staten has dubbed the Metaltron because he doesn't know what it is.
Lame.
It's not a great name for it now.
There's a fun bit where Simmons just like offers the Doctor these rubber gloves and it's just like, "You'll need these. The last guy who touched it burst into flames. I won't touch it then."
Also, a nice little bit of foreshadowing for what happens 10 minutes later. But
yeah.
So the Doctor comes on into the cell where the alien's located. He's just like, "Oh, look, I'm sorry about all this. I mean, it's not right what they're doing, but I'm the Doctor. I'm here to help." Doctor. Doctor!
impossible.
And holy fucking shit, it's a Dalek!
Yeah,
It's like, no lie, that moment gave me shivers because it's like, oh, that's such a good way to reintroduce the Daleks if you know who they are.
it's a great line, but it's kind of undercut by the episode being called Dalek.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, the classic. We haven't done that many Dalek episodes in classic Who reviews, but
Not yet, no.
I mean, they do this a lot where they begin by being like, say, for example, Day of the Daleks, episode 1. And then the end of the episode cliffhanger is, "Oh shit, it's a fucking Dalek!" Bam!
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the thing.
Just once I would like for them to give us like a curveball where it's like, it's called something like, the Cavern of Cybermen, and there's no Cybermen anywhere.
That'd be something.
Just once. I want to see that.
I should point out that there were other titles suggested for this that were not Dalek, and at one point the Daleks were not going to appear because they weren't sure they had the rights to them. So Absence of the Daleks was suggested as a title. But I think that was an in-house joke.
I think I remember this. Actually, I think, if I'm right, the backup plan was actually what would become the Taclefane from Series 3.
You've jumped. Yeah, you've got there ahead of me, but you're right. The Future Human.
Oh.
And the Future Human was developed into the Taclefane.
Right. But anyway, Eccleston's reaction to hearing the Dalek shout his name is basically pounding on the door. "Let me out!"
Just pure fear.
Yeah.
But the Dalek is, yelling, "Exterminate! Exterminate!" but it's not shooting. And Eccleston, after a moment, stops panicking and he looks at it. And he just starts laughing.
Yeah.
"You can't shoot me, can you?" Fantastic!
Yeah. The Great Space Dustman. How does it feel?
So this is the first instance of just Eccleston fucking killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is our first real delve into Time War angst, which was made infamous in the Russell T Davies years. Like, you had a little of it, I think, in End of the World, where the Doctor revealed, "Oh yeah, my planet burned up. I'm the last one."
There were little bits of it sewed within the first 5 episodes, I think.
But this is like the first real money load to explain the idea of the Time War and what happened.
Can I I'm going to interject something very quickly. So as many people know, I keep like TARDIS Wiki up usually in order just to be able to refresh my memory about things and remember names because I'm terrible with names. I happened to scroll a little bit, and you know how they have that little sidebar thing where it tells you some facts about the episode and things like that?
Yeah.
The main enemy here is labeled as the Metaltron.
Yeah. Maybe they should have called this the Metaltron
cute.
as an episode.
That's cute. That's very cute. You did something right, TARDIS Wiki.
Yeah.
For once.
Maybe they should have called the episode the Metaltron to preserve the surprise. Although having said that, they did put the Dalek reveal in the trailer for the next episode, so
yeah.
So,
also, I'm pretty sure that the whole idea is that they wanted to bring back the show and have new viewers, but they also wanted to bring back the old viewers. I think calling it Dalek and showing that there was a Dalek in it would bring back a lot more of the viewers of the show.
Yeah.
It just takes a bit away from this reveal, but it's still a very good scene, and Eccleston kills it, as you say.
Yeah.
He goes from panic to
Well, he
jubilation.
kills a lot of things in this.
He goes from panic to glee to anger to remorse, just like that, like on a sixpence.
The story goes that Eccleston actually spent his lunch break with Nicholas Briggs, voice of the Dalek, just to hash this out and really get it down to a good dynamic. And, you can tell they put a lot of work into it because it just... So the doctor's just like... The Dalek is just like, keep back, what for? What good are you if you can't kill? You can't kill me, so what's the point of you? And the Dalek mentions it's waiting for orders. For what orders? They're never going to come. Your race is dead. I saw it happen. I made it happen.
Yeah, I love that. I watched it happen. I made it happen.
And this is when we get the reveal. Yes, the Doctor destroyed the Daleks and Time Lords alike at the conclusion of the Time War.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Well, if we're ignoring Day of the Doctor because it's 2005, we got to take him at his word.
At the time of transmission, it was real, yes.
He believed, yeah. In 2005, he did it, as far as he knew.
Yep.
From 2013 onward, well, he still believes he did it, and so all this angst is real. Take that, non-canon nerds.
Yes. And then we get a very terrifying bit where Eccleston's gone now to full on anger, and it's like the Dalek says, "I am alone in the universe. So are you. We are the same." I'm not the same. No, wait. You got a point there because I know what to do. I know what should happen. I know what you deserve. Exterminate, and he just zaps it. He just shocks it, electrocutes it.
The way he fucking delivers this.
Yeah, the little grin. Exterminate, zap.
And like you said, the way he just shifts from anger instantly to this gleeful sort of hate is just incredible. And of course, Van Staten and co are just like, what the fuck? No, stop him, don't let him kill it.
Yeah, two guards drag him out. The Dalek is clammed up again. So he's like, make it talk again, Simmons, whatever it takes.
Then we cut to a scene of Rose in English in his space junk room. And English is just like, okay, look, here's all the stuff. This is all the stuff I get from Mr. Van Staten. Isn't that neat? And he mentions, Rose mentions actually, imagine if you could actually travel in space and see where all this stuff comes from. Oh, yeah, that would be pretty neat. But
yeah.
It won't happen. It won't happen in our lifetime. And here's Rose like, I've been to the year 5 billion, fucko.
I love how Billy Piper plays along with this.
It's good.
Rose's feigned surprise is fantastic.
Yeah, it's like her little line about, what do you think about all those people who say that they've met and talked with aliens? And he says, oh, I think they're nut jobs. She's like, yeah, me too.
But English, being a computer whiz, is like, oh, well, you want to see the living specimen? Well, I can just hack into the comms feed and we'll look at, oh, they're actually torturing the alien. That's not very cool. Rose is like, what the fuck? Take me down there now.
Yeah, on the subject of English, his character is rather interesting here because he claims to be a genius.
Mm-hmm.
He says I was born clever. Not that clever, considering what he does in the next episode, but that's for later.
Well, we're not doing that one. That's a good episode, but we're not doing it today.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. But that's not the subject for today. They set up English as a potential love interest for Rose, and they also kind of make him a little bit like the Doctor.
Not that much.
But he shows his true colours pretty soon.
And can I just say, I have no idea what problems the actual actor has, like at all. I have not looked it up. I don't know who he is. I didn't want to look any of that up. Even during the whole episode, I had this weird feeling about him, like something was off about him.
Oh, we're gonna have a fucking bombshell to drop on you later.
Do you want to know what the actor has done?
I have no idea what he's done.
Do you want to know what the actor has done?
Not yet.
Okay.
We'll see. Okay, so
We'll get to it when we get to it.
We do get an interesting little bit here where Davros gets a name drop. Well, not a name drop, but a reference.
Yeah.
And directly comparing Van Statten to him.
You'd like him. You're two of a kind. Where's
Yeah.
that effect? Or you're very similar.
It's basically just explaining, Dalek lore. Oh, they're genetically engineered monsters with a little metal tank created by a mad genius. You'd like him. He thought he was king of his own little pond. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you'd like him, Van Statten.
Yeah. And then he mentions, he says to them about the Time War, last of the stuff. And Van Statten's like, oh, so it's not only a Dalek, but it's the last of its kind. And it's not the only alien specimen in this room.
It's better than that. It's better than that. His assistant, the one who piped up about, picking the Democrats as the president and so forth, she sort of pipes up and says, like, this creature has been through like thousands of auctions, it's gone all over the world. Why is it only talking now?
Yeah.
And you gotta, the way she says it, you get this sense of, no, doctor, do not answer her. Do not answer her. And as soon as he does, that's when this sort of light bulb clicks on in their heads, because he says, it's because I'm here, and then he starts talking about the Time War.
Yeah, the Dalek
and that's when they realize.
The Dalek fell to Earth like a meteorite. It burned in a crater for 3 whole days.
Screaming.
And screaming the whole time.
So, given what we know later with Dalek Khan, I think it is, from the Tenant Years? Who broke into the Time War and went crazy?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that, I don't know if that's the same. That's not quite the same thing that happened to this Dalek. I know, maybe I don't know, but they imply that it might have gone insane and it was screaming, but could be a lesser effect. It could have shook it off after a while, or maybe what happens in this episode a little later fixes it.
I just took it as the Dalek was in severe pain because it came to the ground burning.
Yeah, could be that as well.
Maybe. Either way, Van Statten does remark.
Inside of its own shell.
Either way, Van Statten does remark, oh, the Dalek's not the only alien on Earth, Doctor. There's you, the only one of your kind. And our next scene is some bondage play.
Yeah, he's chained to a platform and tortured by Van Statten.
He gets a painful X-ray. And Van Statten's just like, ooh, 2 hearts! I'm so patenting this!
Yeah. And this is the secret behind Van Statten. He doesn't just collect things, he scavenges technology from crash sites.
Yep.
So
he even mentioned how they found the cure for the common cold. But why would they want to have the cure out there when they could sell all kinds of palliatives?
That hits a little differently in 2021 as well.
Yeah, just a bit.
Big oof, but
he got the internet from Roswell as well, the Roswell spacecraft.
Also, to the person who made EpiPens like $600 a pop, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mood. But yeah, this guy is just a fucking bullshit arch-capitalist, hoarding alien discoveries and things that could revolutionize the world, and hoarding it because, hey, I can make money off this shit.
And even when he's being tortured, the doctor is like, I swear to you, Van Statten, if that thing gets loose, it's going to kill everyone. No one on this base is safe. Not even you.
I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent. I can't let this go. I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent.
Okay.
I hate this. I hate the fact that, the U.S. in general is typically what it is. But I hate the fact that we're so monetarily driven when it comes to healthcare. It's like, if a person dies, then they're dead and gone. They can't spend any more money on anything. Why then would you not want to cure them so then they can spend money on other things? Instead, you want to make it so that it's so hard to actually exist here. At some point, people are just going to give up and start dying, and then you don't make any more money anyways.
Whoever said capitalism was logical.
Oh no, I don't expect logic. It just pisses me off because it's like my family watches this series on TV. It's like The Food That Built America. And they're talking about these people, how they invented the first hamburgers, with the bun and patty and everything. And chewing gum, and so forth. And they're talking about how later on they made like hundreds of thousands of dollars, which equals to like millions of dollars in um our economy because of inflation and everything.
Yeah.
And the entire time I'm thinking, these people have been selling things for like, 3 sticks of gum for 3 cents. Or you could get these sliders from White Castle for 5 cents. Or you could buy a sack of them for 25 cents. And these people have made empires based off of literally nickel and diming. That's it. And the fact that nowadays everything is so expensive, everything is so pricey because people want their fortunes faster. It's like,
Yep.
slow down. You can make a fortune off of just like 10-cent things. You don't need to do this. And it's just it pisses me off. It really does.
Capitalism pisses us off. The podcast.
All I will say is that I am so grateful that the NHS exists, because without that, my father wouldn't be here.
Yeah,
So
rub it in. Rub it in.
my father wouldn't
Yeah.
be here. So yes, I'm going to rub it in.
Listen. I mean, I'm in the country that's got free healthcare too, and I can say that this is bullshit. So
That's not even like an exaggeration. My father wouldn't be here if it weren't for the NHS.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, I'm so tired of people saying it's socialism here to want, universal health care. It's not. It's actually caring about the people who are around you and making it so that even people who do not have funds to be able to live can continue on. It's
Socialism
like,
is a boogeyman word down there.
it really is.
Like, they're not using it to mean what you think it means.
I'm just thinking
It's
of
like,
that.
it's not socialism to care about your fellow person.
I'm just thinking of that gif of Bernie Sanders spooking an interview with the word socialism.
It drives me bonkers how people will take all these buzzwords and make things sound demonic when that's not what they are. They're genuinely helping us. But obviously the billionaires have to keep their bottom line.
Yeah.
Can you tell I'm a little angry about America today?
That reminded me of a thing I saw on Twitter today, which was a Actually, yeah, we're coming back to him. The ex-wife of Jeff Bezos, made like so much money, but she also donated like $8 billion, and she made 36 billion last year. She donated 8 billion. Now she's worth like 60 billion, and it's like she literally cannot spend the money fast enough.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And I'm like, and people were like, you could end homelessness with $8 billion, or you could provide universal health care with $8 billion. I don't know the money, but but $1 billion funds are just absolutely staggering when you try to
There
think about them
are
economically.
places like Detroit, which are full of abandoned, broken down houses. They could spend that much money to repair all those houses and allow people to live in them for free.
But then they don't make money, and that's the devil.
Exactly. Even though what they would be doing is giving people the chance to, be able to cook good food and get a shower and maybe have some place to store their clothes and wash them so that they don't get dirty. So then maybe they can go out and find a job if need be.
They're not thinking the long term. Oh, if we
And if we
invest
had,
in this area,
universal health care, then we could get people the help that they need because a lot of homeless people are there because of mental issues or addiction issues.
why spend money to make money in a couple of years when you can hoard the money and have that money now? That's the mentality.
It just,
And it sucks.
I know the mentality. It pisses me off so much.
Oh my god, that fucking gif. That's it. That's everything we're talking
It's
about
like,
here.
I don't even care right now about the college stuff or anything like that. But being one of the people who I can't currently afford healthcare, so I have to use whatever I can get through the government. Being one of those people and realizing how restrictive it is, that's where I get mad because there are people who have even less than I do, where they can't move or they don't have people who can come in and help them, and they can't do anything about it.
It's fucked
And
up.
that's what pisses me off.
Yeah.
So
But anyways, enough about the real world stuff. Let's instead go back to talking about robot racists.
This has been our Left Wing Podcast Variety Hour.
Of all the episodes for it to become the Left Wing Variety Hour, Dalek.
So Rose shows up, and Adam gives her clearance to go say hi to the Dalek, and she's sympathetic. And this is kind of the scene that Kat was talking about in 2005 when you don't know anything about Doctor Who. Oh,
Yeah.
the poor little thing. Oh.
Yeah, and it's like, again, I don't remember my exact thoughts, but I just remember being like, yes, he's free. Kill them all. Kill them all.
Well, yeah, so the Dalek's really sad. It's just like, the Rose is like, are you in pain? And the
I
Dalek's
am
like, yeah.
dying.
It's kind of funny. As soon as you hide the racist aspects, immediately they become more sympathetic. I wonder who else I could apply to in this world.
Hmm.
Anyways, the
Anyways,
Dalek's in pain.
Dalek's in pain, and
The subtitles aren't racist. What are you talking about?
It does mention the Dalek does mention one thing that'll come up later. I am glad that before I die, I have met a human who was not afraid. So it's very sad, Dalek. Rose reaches out to touch it. Hey, you might burst into flames. But she doesn't burst into flames, but it does sizzle her hand and leave a handprint on the Dalek, and Rose is like, ow, fuck. And then, genetic material extrapolated, initiate cellular reconstruction.
Yep, it's coming back to life.
And Simmons busts in like, what the fuck are you idiots doing? Moves to the Dalek. The Dalek raises a plunger and he's like, what are you gonna do? Sucker me to death?
Yes.
What happens?
It crushes his skull. You don't see it, but...
Well, you see, like, they bend his head with CG, so it's just like...
It's really effective and really
So
disturbing.
imagine, if you will, a straw. And then imagine trying to suck a watermelon through it. And that's pretty much what this was like.
The Dalek drinks your milkshake. It drinks it all.
Okay, I'm on Chakotea.net, which has the transcript of the episode, so I'm just following through the lines. And after the line, what are you going to do, sucker me to death? It's got in brackets, however did you guess? The sucker covers his nose and mouth, and the Dalek creates a vacuum inside it. Ouch!
I like how did you guess?
I didn't actually say that.
It does!
That's a great subtitle.
That is really good.
I do want to mention that it's interesting how a decade later in the Witch's Familiar, Devils would use a similar tactic against the Doctor, exploiting compassion.
Yep. Hey, so would you say that's a Doctor Who mirror alert?
That's a Doctor Who mirror alert.
Whoop whoop whoop
Whoop,
whoop whoop.
whoop.
It doesn't sound so. Do it myself.
I had my soundboard, then it'd be better.
Yeah, because
wow.
you would refuse to play it.
It's still me, so I can do it on command.
And
but it's not the same.
You can do it on command, and I can edit it out of the episode.
I mean, I can also say Jesse Cox is a furry.
And I can
Not
edit
the
it out of the episode.
So, all hell's breaking loose. Alarms are going off, and the Doctor, still bound up, just looks at Van Staten and says, "Release me if you want to live."
Yeah, I love that. How calm he is with it as well.
Which he
And
does.
I like how the next shot is immediately him running out of the elevator. It's like, yes.
Yeah, fully clothed again.
So the door is locked, and it's got a big combination lock, but the Dalek can just hack it instantly.
It also absorbs the internet.
Oh, we have to mention it, don't we? We have to mention it.
Yeah.
We have to mention it. The Dalek, it just breaks out, and Rose and English and another guard run away, while the Doctor, Van Staten, and Goddard are up in another area. And that leaves one guard who I don't even know if we see that guard get killed yet, but the
I
Daleks
think we hear him get killed later.
No, he doesn't get killed yet.
Right.
No
But
guards have died
the Dalek-
yet.
Anyway, the Dalek moves along to this terminal where Van Staten and the Doctor are watching it, and shoves the plunger into the screen, and electricity starts pouring into it. The Dalek's just like, ah! And, up to this point, as you've seen the screenshots, the Daleks can kind of rusty and worn out, but now it's like it just regenerates into a full metallic shine. And this is the part where they're like, "Oh shit! All the power on the West Coast just went down. The Dalek absorbed all the energy." No, it didn't. It absorbed the entire internet. So, who's gonna say it?
Ultron did it first.
Not that.
No, I know what you're trying to say.
Who's gonna say it?
That's a lot of porn.
Yeah. So for the rest of this episode, we have a Dalek with untold terabytes of fetish porn in its databanks.
So that's why
Not even just, like the normal, quote unquote, normal fetish porn, but also think about the fact that people know what certain aliens look like.
So that's the real reason why it kills itself at the end of the episode. It couldn't handle Rule 34.
He has Slovene porn in there. There's adipose in there.
There's adipose porn on the internet? In the Doctor Who universe?
It's more likely than you think.
I mean, I don't doubt that there's adipose porn right now on the internet if you look.
Well, yeah, the adipose were technically
If you think I'm risking a Google search of adipose porn, you have another thing coming.
Brainiac, put the
I don't remember what year the Doctor
Jerry, go fuck
that
yourself.
adventure.
Oh yeah! Wait, oh shit! You're right. It was 2008. It was first done. So yeah, by 2012, the adipose incident would have happened. You're right.
Yep.
It's canon. It's canon.
It is not canon. It's absolutely not canon.
You want to know the worst part too? That lady said that the Dalek had been around to several different people. At least one of them is probably a freak of some kind.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
There's Dalek porn.
So why don't we go away from the wholesome topic of Dalek porn to Massacre? So.
I mean, Massacre is a form of porn to some people.
Please, can we talk about the Massacre?
Are you talking?
Also, that bit where it suctions the evil dude is also a fetish.
Any topic other than Dalek porn, please.
There's a lot of porn in this episode.
Any topic other than Dalek porn.
That doesn't have the soundboard, so.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
If I was if I had a producer, they'd be yelling my ear down to go to commercial. That's how bad this is.
This is why they don't allow me on TV. I just immediately grab a microphone and say porn.
All right, Rainiac. Let's talk about the Massacre. So this is the first Doctor story featuring Steve. Wait, no. Wait, no shit. Hang on.
Dodo got a reference 2 weeks in a row. That's impressive. Yeah. So
It's coming, Mike.
the two.
It is.
What? What's coming, Mike?
Nothing.
Have I missed something?
Nothing at all.
Have I missed something? Clearly, I've missed something.
Yeah. Well, just saying. It's my turn next.
Oh. But we already did Frontiers. Whatever, I'm sure that'll be nothing of consequence. So, yeah, the two girls are Bywater and DiMaggio, and Bywater orders DiMaggio to make sure that, I need to say his name again, English and Rose get out alive. That's her job.
The civilians.
Yeah, because they're civilians. Bywater stays behind, he shoots the Dalek a few times, the bullets disappear. They just melt against it. So Bywater runs out, following Rose, English, and DiMaggio, but he doesn't get very far because the Dalek shoots him, and he gets X-rayed.
Yes.
First time we've seen this for a while in Doctor Who. And then the X-rays keep on coming because there's a number of guards who've taken up positions. They do nothing to this thing, and it just kills them all stone dead.
And can I say, even with it being 16 years later, the X-ray effect still does actually hold up.
Yep, it really does.
It looks really good. There was one point I saw where the X-ray effect accidentally went into the next scene, which was a wide shot. that was a little bit of an error, but otherwise it was really good.
I didn't spot that,
Whoops.
but it's still very, very effective. Especially the bit where the guy's hands just light up.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
good one. That's good.
It's horrific. Yeah. So the Dalek is now on the loose. Big problem.
Yay!
Yay! But it's okay. Rose and English and the other guard have found a flight of stairs.
Oh my god.
The
As we all
Daleks'
know-
one weakness.
And as we all know, with all our fun jokes about the Daleks over the years of Doctor Who, Daleks are just
Hey,
tricks.
Frez,
They can't do
Frez,
anything about stairs, so
Frez,
they're completely
Frez,
safe. Yes,
Frez,
what? Yes.
I have one word for you.
Oh, what word do you have for me? I mean, can't be
Elevate.
anything bad. What?
Yeah.
Flying Dalek.
It just goes elevate, and it ascends up the staircase. Now this would be amazing if you hadn't seen Remembrance of the Daleks. They did it first.
To be fair, though, Remembrance of the Daleks is in the McCoy years, where like nobody fucking saw it. So
And
for
also,
many
to be
people,
fair, this was a big thing for the people who have never watched Doctor Who.
And people freaked out over this moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a big talking point when it first came out.
what the fuck? It's hovering. It's invincible.
This poor woman, she's like tells Rose in English to get out of there, and she tries to reason with the Dalek. She even apologizes for keeping it under like in chains and everything. She's like, I know we imprisoned you, and we probably shouldn't have done that,
But
but
people have
hopefully we can
died.
negotiate.
It's kind of a bad apology in a way. It's like, I know we imprisoned and tortured you, and maybe that was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least she attempts though.
They do try to humanize the soldier.
The soldier, yeah. Just the maybe is just like, okay, honey, what?
And it kind of works because I do feel sorry for her when she gets exterminated, but
Yeah, she gets exterminated. And this leads to another great scene with the Doctor and Van Staten, where he's like, let's reason with the Dalek. There must be something that it wants. And the Doctor's just like, what's the nearest city? Salt Lake City. What's the population? 1 million. All dead. What?
if that thing gets out, it's all dead.
What the fuck?
But literally, the only thing it wants is to kill everything that's not a Dalek, and kill any Daleks that are not true Daleks.
Well, it's the last Dalek, so that doesn't really.
It wasn't really sure of that until it actually downloaded the internet, and then it kind of got that, the idea. And they talk about that later in the scene.
So Rose and English are running as another platoon of soldiers is getting ready to ambush the Dalek.
Not just
Come on,
soldiers,
Frez,
anybody
Frez,
with a gun.
Frez, show them some respect. Another group of red shirts.
It's not just soldiers. That's what makes it so effective. It's not just because the Doctor says to Goddard, get weapons to everybody, not just soldiers, but the lawyers, technicians,
Everybody.
scientists, everybody that can shoot. Get them a gun.
Rose and English run off with the Dalek in pursuit, and they're looking back as the Dalek comes in, and the Dalek zooms in on Rose. Just focuses on Rose, and Rose is like, "It was looking at me. Why was it looking at me? It was just looking at everything." English says, "No, it was looking at me." And there is kind of the arrogance of this one soldier where the Doctor's trying to give this guy advice. He's like, listen, okay, the weak point has to be the dome, the eyepiece. If you focus your fire, maybe you can get through. Thank you very much, Doctor, but I think we can handle one tin pot robot.
Yeah, he can't.
Yeah, no, you can't. Also, it's not a robot.
But
Spoilers, they can't.
the really harrowing thing about this is that the Dalek turns the camera on so the Doctor can watch what it's about to do.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk more about this massacre?
Oh God! So we've just had a scene where the Dalek has shot lots of soldiers, and you have the X-ray effect. So we're going to get that again. Is it going to diminish it? No. Far more effective. The Dalek fires 3 shots. Just 3 shots.
And all the while, it's hovering in the air as the soldiers are just and people with guns are just unloading holy hell into it.
Everyone in this ambush is just shooting it. It's just shooting everything they've got at it, and nothing's working. So, shot number 1, it hits the switch to turn on the sprinkler system. Shot number 2, it hits the ground where the water is coming from, and everyone on the ground is electrocuted, instantly killed.
Number 3.
Shot number 3 hits
up
the
on
metal
this-
walkway, and everyone else dies. In 3 shots, the Dalek has taken out about 100 people.
Yep.
This is so
I believe the
effective.
death count later on is said to be 200 total.
Yeah, at least
So
200.
it's like,
Which, I mean, we only see like what 20 or 30 people get killed.
Yeah,
in
but
the
anybody
story,
in that
so-
room is dead.
Yeah.
And he did
Yeah.
And then we get another just absolutely iconic scene. So the Dalek is
yes.
is speaking to the Doctor, and explains that it regenerated using the DNA of Rose. And it used the internet, searched through all the universe with all the Earth satellites and whatnot to search for any signs of Dalek, and found nothing. So it has no purpose. It needs orders. And Eccleston steps up and says, "You want an order? Here's a fucking order for you. Kill yourself."
And I just, I love this scene so much.
It's amazing,
it is
isn't
so
it?
good.
Yeah.
It is so
He
good.
gets
It's
so
like,
angry. He gets so angry at one point he foams at the mouth, and they kept it in.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
it's
should mention.
fantastic.
I skipped the line where the Dalek mentions it's going to just follow the primary order: destroy, conquer, and the Doctor's like, "What's the point? Everything's gone. Everything you stood for. There's no point
Yeah.
in doing that." And then he gets the, "If you want orders, kill yourself. The Daleks must survive. The Daleks have failed. Why don't you finish the job? Make the Daleks extinct. Rid the universe of your filth. Why don't you just die?"
Yeah. He
And the
screams
Dalek-
at him.
Dalek just looks up at him,
May I?
very
May I?
quiet,
May I?
and
Yes,
says
you may.
a couple words.
The Doctor just looks up at the Dalek just looks up at the Doctor and says,
You would make a good Dalek.
like, wow.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Ugh. And just the look on Eccleston's face, too, where he realizes, oh god, I really am no better than they are.
Yeah.
Which we get some years later with Peter Capaldi in his first series.
And Katira didn't like it because he thought it was a rehash of this. And it is a rehash of this, in fairness.
It is, but it's servicing a larger arc.
I mean, if you're going to copy
And
for the
unlike
best.
some people, they were able to actually rip themselves off very well.
Yeah.
Unlike some people.
I
Yeah,
mean,
no.
Don't
I
on the
mean-
cherries. It's a perfectly valid argument.
yeah. I get it. I get it because, we're in a hell world now where it's basically just, hey guys, remember 2007? Remember 2007? Captain Jack, Jadoon, Chameleon Arch? Ooh, remember when the show was good?
I swear.
Remember when Chris Chibnall wasn't at the helm? Yes, I do.
I
and
swear, if
wish for it
Series
every
13
day.
brings back the Slovene,
No, it's not gonna be that. Levine.
I don't know what to expect of Series 13.
We're in the bad timeline.
Yeah.
I blame cats.
But I mean, when Moffat cribbed this particular plot point, he also did it in a way that serviced his larger arc, You had things
Yes.
like the half-faced man, and you had that wonderful payoff that we discussed last week, so,
I'm
And
not complaining,
Eccleston
I'm
had
just
it-
saying it was used again, but
Yeah.
Yes. Because if I can.
Yeah.
So, obviously we had the Time War, and that was bad and everything. However, we also have 9, 10, and 11 between, the Time War and Capaldi.
Yeah.
9 is very much the bitter war veteran. He doesn't want to remember, but unfortunately he does. 10, pretends to not remember, and, he keeps going on, and he just tries to be a better person. And 11 is just like, I have no idea what you're talking about, and so forth.
Hey, didn't Day of the Doctor have a term for this?
Yes, they did. I just don't remember what it was.
10 is the man who regrets, 11 is the man who forgets.
Yes. So, to me, the bit with Capaldi is perfect because it's almost like the 5 stages of grief in a way. He kept trying to forget it and trying to push it away. And Dave the Doctor, as well as being Capaldi, helped sort of make him face everything he's done.
Yeah.
Because the whole time when he was 9, 10, 11, he was pushing away his feelings. He was trying not to think about it. He was trying to ignore what he did because he didn't want to face his feelings about that. So that's why I like the Capaldi era idea where it does quote unquote rip this off, because it shows, the full arc.
Yeah.
It's like he's gone back to being that bitter, angry old war veteran, but he's better because of it.
Mm-hmm. And
He's finally learning, exactly what he said in the previous episodes that we covered.
Yeah.
Where he's not a good man, he's just an idiot with a blue box going around trying to do his best.
Oh yeah.
And I do love that moment. But so the Doctor is trying to combat the Dalek. His next plan is to seal it inside the bunker.
But Rose and English have to get to the bulkhead door before they seal it up, and Van Staten is doing a hack, but he can't keep it going for long. So as Rose and English are running, the Doctor has no choice. He has to hit the button to start the process.
English makes it, Rose doesn't.
And
yep.
I do love Rose's dialogue here when she thinks she's dead. She's just like, "Sorry, Doctor, I was too slow, but listen, this wasn't your fault, okay? Don't blame yourself. It's not your fault."
And I wouldn't have missed it for the world.
It's really kind of... You were just talking about Capaldi. It's kind of like Clara's farewell in Face the Raven. In a way, just like, don't you blame yourself for this shit. This is my fault. And this is what I have to face.
The difference being that Rose doesn't actually die, but...
But, yeah, you see what I'm going for.
Yeah. And this scene is brilliant because even though they were not going to kill her off at this stage, you knew they weren't going to.
Yeah, it was only like episode 6.
They make you feel like they might.
Yeah.
If you watch this for the first time or you watched it blind or you just couldn't remember what happened, the acting makes you believe that this could be her exit.
Can I do a semi-hot take of my own?
Oh,
please do.
Please.
So we've said before that Capaldi's era feels like a retread of the Sixth Doctor era, where they had that sort of darker Doctor, but they were able to do it well.
Mm-hmm.
Can we also say that his is a sort of retread of Eccleston's era as well?
Absolutely.
I mean, we were just kind of on that, but yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
Because it's like, obviously Eccleston also tries to the darker Doctor aspect of it as well. But he also has the added bit of being a war veteran, and thinking that he did the most horrible thing that you could possibly do.
Mm-hmm.
So it just feels like to me like Capaldi is trying to do that and Sixth Doctor's era all over again and trying to do it right this time. And it's not Eccleston's fault with the with his series. It's just that, stuff happened, he wasn't happy, he had to go from it.
Yeah.
Unlike, Colin Baker, who got totally fucked over.
I still think that the first series of Modern Who still holds up.
Yeah.
I agree
I agree as well. Rose is a national treasure.
Yeah.
She's such a treasure that Nick Cage is trying to steal her.
And so are her eyebrows.
And her eyebrows, yes.
So the Doctor
blows up. He's not trying to steal the eyebrows, though. The eyebrows can stay behind.
So the Doctor blows up at Van Staten here. He's just like, was your collection worth everybody who died here? And Van Staten, his protest is, I wanted to touch the stars, Doctor. No, you didn't. You wanted to drag them down here in this vault and keep them for yourself.
And label them, yeah.
Yeah. But, hey, the Dalek didn't kill Rose.
She was 9. Also, the one we said, she was 19 years old. Oh, my God.
Wow. But Dalek didn't kill her.
Yeah, it's
don't know why yet.
Out, oh no! A minute later, oh no, she's actually alive. But I don't see
I'm
this
sure
as
there was a commercial
out.
break in there someplace.
I don't see this as a cop out. We didn't get commercial breaks, but I don't see this as a cop out.
Aren't you special?
No, we just have BBC with no advert breaks. But
well, aren't you special?
Yes, I am. And like if you're finally noticing.
The Dalek actually can feel her fear now.
Why don't you go and colonize something?
We did. It's called the USA.
Yeah, and guess what? We broke away from you. USA. USA.
Yes, and did we do a good job in breaking away from you? U of K, U of K. Hey, if you want a pissing contest about the Empire, I'll absolutely do a pissing contest about the Empire.
Oh, I'm sorry, what empire? Because everybody left.
Yeah, because we let them.
Sure.
Revisionist history! I'm messing about. I'm messing about. I accept that there were some big problems with the Empire, but thankfully the Empire does not exist anymore.
If India has 5 artifacts and the UK has 0 artifacts, how many artifacts are the UK about to steal from the India?
15.
Exactly.
Okay, y'all.
We're gonna find 10 more that you did. Okay, truce. But
For now.
that's
So
about as much
the
as I
Dalek
can
can
expect.
feel Rose's fear, and that's new. Like we've established, the only emotion the Dalek has is hate. Every other emotion was bred out of it. So, a Dalek feeling fear. That's new.
Mm-hmm.
That's not supposed to happen.
Anyway,
The Doctor finds out that Rose is still alive.
the Dalek wants the bulkhead open, and the Doctor's basically like, I killed her once. I can't do it again. And opens the bulkhead up.
The Dalek has a great line where it says, "What use are emotions if you will not save the woman you love?"
God damn.
But again, a Dalek knowing about the concept of love.
Creepy, considering the fact that he just said that she's 19 and he's like hundreds of years old.
Yeah,
just a little.
It's also the first time that a kind of a relationship other than just friendship is kind of hinted at. It's basically a platonic but very very respectful relationship, and now it's something more than that, possibly. Maybe it's one-sided.
It is better than Japan, though, where they have 8-year-olds who turn out to be hundreds of years old. So there's that at least.
Maybe it's one-sided. I'm ignoring all that. Maybe it's one-sided. Maybe it isn't. But yeah. So yeah, I killed her once. I can't do it again. He lets the Dalek up.
But he has a plan because English is back, and the Doctor berated him a bit before. It's like, "Oh, you were pretty quick on your feet, weren't you? Hey, don't bitch at me. I tried to save her."
He didn't, but he also didn't impede her.
Yeah.
He was just quicker.
Yeah. But
yeah.
all the alien weapons are down below the Dalek, but not the uncatalogued ones that English hasn't yet filed.
Yes,
because as he explains, Van Staten, wipes people's memories, so he held on to some alien junk just in case he ever needed to fight his way out.
Okay, those guards, he wasn't fighting with a paper bag, let alone past those guards.
Yeah. Plus, there's the fact that the Doctor starts going through his little box. He's like, broken,
hairdryer.
Hairdryer.
It's beautiful. But he does find a gun and is like, okay, yeah, lock and load. Let's go. And this leads to the climax of the episode. Rose and the Dalek.
This is where we go full Doom, and he's got a BFG.
Man who never carries a gun, my arse.
Yep.
Man who never would. But, yeah, the Dalek is having an existential crisis. Rose and the Dalek are up to level 1. The Dalek blasts a bit of concrete out of the way to let the sunlight in.
Oh, you missed another bit where he threatens the Dalek threatens Van Staten, but doesn't kill him.
Oh fuck, that's great. Yeah.
And Van Staten is like his usual Weasley coward self.
Oh no, don't kill me, please.
We could help you. We could mend you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I swear I just want you to talk.
Then hear me now, Van Staten. Exterminate!
But Rose stops him from being killed. I think other writers would have allowed Van Staten to die here.
Well, we got to come up and
later. We get a wonderful payoff, so I'm glad that he sticks around for another 2 minutes. But
the Dalek's having an existential crisis.
Yes. And Rose at the end of that scene is just like, "What do you want?" And the Dalek just says, "Freedom."
Yeah.
So they head over to an area where he can shoot the ceiling and let the sunlight come in.
Oh.
And then the Dalek opens casing up.
So we get a little blob. It's a little blob feeling the sunlight.
Such a good puppet.
It's not the
Such a
first
good
time we've
puppet.
seen a Dalek out of its casing, as some people thought it was. It's not.
Yeah.
Five Doctors had one. Revolution of the Daleks had one, of course. Sorry, that's a Revolution. Revelation of the Daleks had one, yeah. But this is the first time it speaks.
I love practical effects when they can make them work, and this one works so
it's a
well.
good-looking
It's such a
puppet,
good Dalek puppet.
It's a good-looking puppet.
Yeah.
I just realised that could be taken completely out of context, that line, but yeah. Moving on.
The doctor shows up with his big-ass gun and is like, get out of the way, Rose, I'm gonna blow the Dalek to bits! And Rose is just like, what the fuck? All it wants is to feel the warm sun!
Yeah.
Rose...
The Dalek is changing into something else. It's not the only one. What are you becoming, Doctor? And this is enough to break the Doctor's resolve. He's like, I couldn't, and he just throws the gun down. Rose, what have I done?
God. Just the bitterness over the Time War, and Rose just plainly calling out that the Doctor is acting like a good Dalek.
Now I'm
so
going
good
to
together.
say this, and nobody at me in the comments. But if I had to say something, I would say that this is Russell T Davies' take on the Doctor having PTSD.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah?
Yeah, PTSD
Because
is absolutely...
he essentially flashes back to the Time War, and he's immediately like, get rid of all the Daleks, no more Daleks, without even, thinking about what's happening around him.
But thankfully, this time he's got Rose, and she's able to pull him back from the brink.
Yes.
So in this case, he is the man that never would, thanks to Rose.
So the
the companions are so important to Doctor Who because they help keep the Doctor grounded.
Yeah.
And the Dalek is changing, which is bad because Daleks are incapable of change. The Dalek is the last of the Daleks, and the Doctor's like, you're not even that anymore. You absorb Rose's DNA, and you're mutating into something new. Rose is like, that's good, right? Not for a Dalek.
Even the Doctor, he apologizes to the Dalek. I'm so sorry that this is happening to you.
Oh God, you can feel things. Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah, he actually does apologize to it.
And the Dalek can feel ideas and immediately is like, Rose, order me to die. This is not life. This is sickness. Order my destruction.
An interesting line, yeah. Emotions are not life.
He's got a point. Emotions can feel like a sickness to some people. Where it's like you care too much, especially if you're in grief of any kind.
Yeah.
And he not only just got introduced to emotions, but the Dalek also... I don't know why I keep calling him he, because Daleks technically have no gender. Apologies for that. But the Dalek is essentially an emotionless being that just got introduced to emotions. And it has to deal with the fact that it's the last of its kind.
Kat, there are no Daleks
at the same time.
There are no Daleks listening to this podcast. You don't have to apologise. I know what you meant. You're saying he because the voice actor is a he.
I always try to make sure I don't unnecessarily gender things anymore.
Right.
Just because, if it's like an animal, then obviously that's something that
that's
they don't
commendable. But I think you're okay.
Still.
Yeah. The effort's nice, well appreciated, but there's a lovely little bit of mirroring here where the Dalek asks, "Are you frightened, Rose?" Yeah, so am I. Where before Rose wasn't scared of the Dalek, and now Rose is scared, and the Dalek's like, "Yeah, same." Exterminate, and so the Dalek blows itself up.
Yep.
It's a neat effect. It's a neat effect where the round things create a force field to contain the, I assume, massive explosion, and then they're just it's out of existence.
It just vaporizes. Yeah, and that's the end of it.
That's the last of the Daleks.
Yeah, I wish.
All the Daleks are dead.
I wish.
They never show up again, especially not in stupid ways like Resolution or Revolution.
And they never show up again. Pepwolf!
Never again. And they're certainly not overused to shit.
I am glad they showed up again, though, because that moment at the end of Army of Ghosts is incredible.
Fear is not ours.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's
So-
inside? Oh my god.
Here's our resolution. Goddard has the guards take Van Staten, and she's like, 200 people dead for your fucking bullshit. All because of you. Take him away, wipe his memory, leave him by the roads in place on the streets of San Diego, Seattle, Sacramento, somewhere beginning to best.
Yeah, she gets a brilliant line where he's like, "I am Henry Van Staten." She said, "By tomorrow, Henry Van Staten will be a brainless, mindless, homeless junkie living on the streets of Seattle, San Diego, Sacramento, someplace beginning with S." Now, the thing about Goddard is that she was named particularly by Rob Shearman after his own wife. His wife is Jane Goddard,
Nice.
and Jane Goddard was in Jubilee.
Well, how about that?
So it's a tribute to her.
Neat.
Also in the novelisation, she's actually undercover government agent.
Well, how about that?
I don't know. You can kind of play that into this, or she could just be his assistant that's grown tired of his nonsense and has usurped him for the good of humanity.
Either works. It works. So, the Doctor and Rose are back at the TARDIS, and it's like, well, that's the end of the Time War. I win.
Yeah, and the sadness in his face when he says "I win."
Yeah.
He's not taking any kind of triumph in it.
And he mentioned that he would know if there were any other Time Lords around because he'd be able to sense them, which
Yeah.
Russell T Davies filled that in later. With,
Utopia.
Well, Chameleon Arch.
That's Utopia.
Yeah.
Yana.
Yana. Yeah.
That's still Utopia.
Yeah. But, Anyway, English comes up, and it's like, hey, this base is going to be filled with cement. We got to get out of here. Wait, why are you guys going into a blue box? Hello? Rose?
Right.
Hello?
So
And follows her in.
Rose invites English.
Well, she doesn't really invite him. She just
says the
mentions
doctor,
it to the
he
doctor.
was saying that he's always wanted to travel. Oh, that's nice. The doctor doesn't want to take him.
It's more that he invites himself in and nobody stops him.
No, Rose invites him in. Because the doctor says to her, "On your own head, then."
We'll see how bad of an idea that was in the next episode, but we won't because we're not talking about that. So,
Let's talk a bit about then the actor.
English?
Elephant in the room.
Yeah, just to get it out there because it's not too hard to clear up. So the actor's name is Bruno Langley, and Bruno Langley was convicted of 2 counts of sexual assault.
Of course he was.
He pled guilty.
Good.
So unlike other actors, we know that he did what he did because he pled guilty. So
there you go.
it's not an innocent until proven guilty thing. He's admitted it. So you can absolutely dunk on the guy for it if you wish.
Well, okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm not saying that he specifically did this, and more than likely he probably is just a monster. But I am going to say that there are a lot of places where people are coerced into pleading guilty because it would be better for them in the long run because they take stuff like plea deals and things like that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that situation, but
I'm just saying there are times when people take plea deals, they plead guilty, and then they get a lighter sentence because they admit it.
He lost his job on Coronation Street, a very popular British soap opera, because of it. So
good.
No.
Again, not saying that he did this, but we have to remember that the justice system is a very complex and weird system.
thankfully, he's only in 2 episodes, and by the end of his 2nd episode, he's gone. So
yeah.
Well, and that's Dalek. So
I think I'll go first since it was my pick.
Go ahead.
Yes.
I still love this one. 16 years on. Is it the best Christopher Eccleston story? It's debatable. Doctor Dance is up there, of course. I think Father's Day is up there as well. But is it the best Dalek story? Here's a hot take. Yes, I think it's the best Dalek story of the modern era. And it's kind of a damning indictment that the best Dalek story is the first Dalek story, and they haven't been able to improve upon that. And they would try with Evolution of the Daleks and failed miserably, but it's interesting how those 2 stories, they do try and expand on the whole change is bad for a Dalek, because we have Dalek Sec that tries to embrace the change and gets killed for it, so there is that. But Eccleston is a tour de force throughout. Van Staten is a great character to hate, and I love the fact that he gets his comeuppance in the same way that he's introduced. Nice mirroring there. Yes, I said it. Play the air horns. Billy Piper is great.
Hey.
Billy Piper is great throughout. Nicholas Briggs, I think, deserves a shout out for his performance, vocal performance as the Dalek.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Able to convey emotion, even if it is fake emotion, to lure Rose in. He does a really good job as the voice of the Dalek. And yeah, it's 45 minutes of very tight scripted television. I love it. I still love it.
Excellent.
If I may.
You may.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Okay, a little more than that. I mean, it's it's absolutely great. Just bringing back the Daleks with a bang. You have that Time War angst that defined Eccleston, and he eventually sort of healed from in his own way, and found his redemption in stories like Empty Child Doctor Dances or the Bad Wolf two-parter that ended his tenure. And great way to bring back the Daleks. The Daleks very effective and a force of nature, just destructive in all ways until it gets a heart and blows itself up. You've got that theme going on. And you got a shit billionaire who gets his comeuppance, so good. I don't know what else you want from a Dalek story. It's one of the best. 45 minutes of pure gold. Except that it has a bad man in it, but that couldn't
Yeah.
be helped at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, very good episode, very good pick. Thank you, Rainiac. Cat?
I have to agree. I mean, it's a fantastic episode. I'm not sure if I can agree with Rainiac that it's the best Dalek episode of the new era. Mostly because I'm having trouble remembering all the other ones that I've seen. But
All
this,
right.
you know,
Best standalone Dalek
obviously,
episode.
yeah, it's like obviously I'm coming after having watched everything and knowing a little bit more about who the Daleks are. I'm sure my very first impressions of this episode would have been more than likely very different. Um, but it's like this is a fantastic Dalek episode. It's got a fantastic doctor in it. Rose is fantastic. Her eyebrows are fantastic. Um, Everything about it is just so tightly woven and beautiful. And Russell T Davies, come back to us, please. Anybody but Chibnall. Anybody.
Chibnall is trying to evoke Russell T Davies. I mean, to
Yeah,
be
and
honest,
he's failing because he's not Russell T Davies.
Yeah, bring back the actual Russell T Davies.
I don't want Russell T Davies or Moffat to come back. I want a new fucker to come in with their own take that works.
I would like
Instead
them
of
to
just
write a
filling in the
guest write an episode. I
I
don't
want
want
the
to be
very
showrunner
next
again.
episode to be, oh yeah, all that timeless child thing, that was totally a lie.
I mean, poor Stephen Moffat deserves a break for years, but
Yeah, he was technically running two shows at the same time.
I certainly
Even if
I would
Sherlock
not be
didn't,
opposed
air that much.
to Russell T Davies writing one episode of, say, Series 13 or Series 14. I don't want him to come back as showrunner, because we've had that.
Yeah. And yeah, Chibnall, we've had that. Don't give it to us again.
But I would love to see how
Seriously.
he handles a female doctor.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think
I
Moffat will come back.
have this horrible feeling that for some reason, I don't know if this is actually going to happen or not, but I have this horrible feeling that the 60th anniversary, they're going to try to get Tennant back again.
Of course they are.
It's entirely possible.
It just feels like that's what's going to happen, and it's just like, no, please no. Let the Time Lord victorious die.
Yeah.
But yeah, this actual episode is fantastic. I love it. It's a really good episode. It helps, highlight the way that the Ninth Doctor thinks, and his relationship with Rose is, just sort of beginning, and I love it. I love it. Good choice.
Well, I picked some stellar episodes in Dark Water and Death in Heaven. Rainiac picked an excellent episode with Dalek. Pat, do you have a good episode for us, or are we going to have a troll?
Oh, you're fucked.
Oh, good. What do we got?
Well, not too long ago, we talked over with a a mutual friend of ours about certain episodes and certain people in those episodes whose name began with a D.
Oh no!
And
Not this.
I think it's time for us to go back and, actually be able to do it.
Oh.
Because, I love you guys and I want only the best for you.
All right.
So join us next time on the Doctor Who Review Show, where we talk about the mysterious planet with the Sixth Doctor.
Oh! Okay, thank God. Oh, good. I will take to Colin Baker like a drink of fresh water.
Please write in the chat later on what you thought she was referring to, because I'm none the wiser. But
I was totally alluding to like the Ark or the Celestial Toymaker.
yeah, no.
Which are both still on the sheet for us.
Well. The
Oh,
latter
D
of
for
those,
Dodo. I get it now. Well done.
the latter of those are missing. Listen. If you want to do a Dodo episode, let's do the Gunfighters or the War. Well, not the War Machine. War Machine says
No.
ability.
No.
No.
No,
You don't want Gonzo. You want racism.
Exactly which ones I would pick.
So you don't want, oh hey, here's a Gonzo story that we can shit on fandom for hating. You want, oh, here's a racist story we can yell about fandom for liking.
Yes.
Yep. I love me some discourse.
All right,
But we're not doing that. We're doing the mysterious planet, the first part of the Time Lord trial.
Oh God.
Which
Trial
is
of the Time
wild.
Lord.
Yeah, which is wild because we've done the third part of Trial of Time Lord, the weird part
Yes.
that was set in the future. So we're like coming back to it now. It was in our future, but now we're coming back to the trial. So it's kind of like I don't fucking know what this is.
Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey.
Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey, and enjoy a fucking giant robot and shit. I don't know.
I'm finally going to know what the Veil Yard's all about.
I know nothing about this one,
yeah,
so
On the episode of Terror of the Vervoids cut all his bits out.
I know nothing about this one, so this is interesting.
And you actually have a copy with the Veil Yard shit in it because I gave you the Blu-ray.
I do. So that means I can watch the episode myself.
I think I also have a copy with the Valiard stuff in it, but we'll find out.
I have the Blu-ray too, so yeah.
Oh yeah, so
all right.
Good choice. Well, it's a choice. Whether it's good or not, we'll have to see.
It's not a racist piece of shit, so.
It's a good choice in some of our. As I haven't seen it yet, so in that case, in that way, it's a good choice.
I mean, we can talk about continuity bullshit. We can laugh about the coat. It'll be fine.
Oh, I finally get to talk
What's there to laugh about the coat? That is a fine piece of fashion.
I do get to talk about the Valiard at last.
Oh boy! Well, we can't talk too much because we don't. We know the deal, I think, with the Valiard, but the stories don't know the deal with the Valiard yet. He's just kind of an asshole, and
yeah. But no, I
don't know the deal about the Valiard yet.
I will.
You don't?
I will reserve the right to.
No.
Oh, you've got something coming.
I know the basics of it, where he's supposed to be like a dark version of the Doctor or something like that, but otherwise, I have no idea.
Oh boy.
Oh, you're in for something. When we finally get to the ultimate foe, you are in for something.
Oh, we are.
But good choice. I reserve the right to change this, but good choice.
So, Rainiac, where can we find us and our lovely show?
You can find our lovely show on Twitter @ReviewsDoctor, and you can write to the show via Gmail at goexterminateyourself@gmail.com. We can be found individually on Twitter. I'm @RainiacTheManiac, Kat's @ConclaveUsurper, and Jerry's @SellingAMirror.
Damn it!
@FreezingInferno, @FreezingInferno. But we all know that's your old account, so...
You can't prove anything!
Oh, I can.
We can.
I got receipts.
Yeah, you got receipts from Tesco.
I don't shop at Tesco, how very dare you.
Now I need to find me a clip of Frez being the one to say, I was born in the United States of America.
That's never going away. God damn it.
Nope. I know
I
that
hate
clip
you.
exists. I'm going to find it.
You make
I
one.
hate you all right now.
You make one little joke for April Fool's Day, and it hangs over your head for the rest of your life.
How do you
Oh,
think
absolutely.
I feel? I do one stream of a monster fucking game and like every other line is clipped.
Vince McMahon was right. Life sucks and then you die.
Nipples!
And on that very cheery note, thank you to Kat and Jerry for discussing Dalek with me. I still think it's a fantastic episode. I will revise my opinion somewhat. Best standalone modern Dalek story, not two-part. The two-parters are obviously really good, like Doomsday and Journey's End. The Magician's Apprentice, which is familiar, is really good.
Yeah.
But this beats Asylum. This beats Victory. This probably beats Into the Dalek.
Yeah.
This does not beat Asylum.
Okay.
Asylum has Clara.
Well, no, it doesn't. It has Oswin.
It has Clara.
Eggs.
Who's referred to as Oswin. But yes.
Here's a splinter of Clara.
All right.
You're not winning this one, buddy.
Yeah, you're not winning this one.
When do I ever win?
Well,
It's
you
like,
won this. You won this week.
I'm now fully behind Frez on the mirrors and behind him on Clara. So you're screwed.
And on that cheery note, thank you for listening to us talking about Dalek. And we'll see you next time for The Mysterious Planet starring Colin Baker.
Yay!
Until then, bye for now.